Yeah.
Live.
All right. Yeah, and it's 10 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order and recite the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, did everyone have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes. Busy.
Yeah. I celebrated my mom's birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah, how old is she now? 85?
87.
Oh, God bless her.
And she did all the cooking for Thanksgiving, wouldn't let us do anything.
Really?
Oh my God. It was.
Apparently you don't cook as good as her then.
I said, I don't want y'all bringing that stuff.
I don't want you bringing that nasty,
You keep
potato
your,
It's just
salad.
that generation, my mother would never let us cook either.
Well, I don't like to cook, but I don't want to make him bring
We always said,
anything.
mother, you can't cook.
Only
Yeah.
25 people.
that's my mom.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
my goodness.
yeah.
And
Somebody else.
spread.
Yeah.
Guess how many people were there?
Oh, wow. Wow. Good. Goodness. Oh, bless
my
her.
goodness.
Yeah.
I don't, as much stuff as we did with 25.
We were taking stuff home.
Well, yeah, that's what I usually load people up.
Yeah, we had so many
Oh,
pies,
yeah.
people were taking whole pies home.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Enough fun and frivolity there. Commissioner review and update. I don't have my minutes with me, but I'm sure that's where we're
That's what
starting.
it is, yeah.
I'll try and pull them up on my phone.
I didn't have really anything last week. I did go to the potluck that they had over at Emergency Management that the sheriff's office put together, and that was, it was really nice. It was nice of them to put forth the effort to get everybody together. I guess there was quite a few people that came and attended, so I think it was a good deal, good food.
Yeah, there was good food. I heard you made the cheesecake, cherry cheesecake
Oh,
dessert. It was excellent.
Oh, good.
But no, it was really nice. It was full. I got there right when it started and there was quite a few people there. And actually it was nice. Some of my old coworkers from the police department were there. And so it was nice to, it's nice that Sheriff Beckman is fostering that relationship again. And so it was a good time. So I appreciate that.
Well, I thought what was cool about it was, the chef over at the kitchen in jail prepared the turkey.
He did, and it was good.
It was really
very
good.
good.
It was good, and I was really more happy that I was one of the stragglers, so I gotta take some gravy home with me,
Oh,
because I
nice.
can't make gravy
Well, I
very
should
good,
have
so.
after, I mean, you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
still there, but I should.
Yeah,
No, and
Yeah.
Justin Stopper was just trying to get rid of everything.
yeah.
He would start doing that at the beginning. He was piling people's turkey up like this, and I'm like, I cannot eat all that turkey. I want to have all the other desserts too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm one of those desserts before the main event. But also, I'll just make a comment too, that I appreciate the comments and feedback that I've got from quite a few people about expanding our board. I'll just say that much about it now, but, and then maybe ask at the appropriate time, maybe Counselor Edwards can talk a little bit about the process, because that was a lot of the questions that were asked me, is how and when or what. And I said, I didn't want to expand upon it too much. I know generally, but I thought maybe that she could talk about it when she has an opportunity to talk. So that's about it for me.
Yeah, I too have been contacted. In fact, went out to eat on Tuesday after the meeting, and at least 10 people talked to me about it. Some for, some gifts.
Yeah.
I think that people were very surprised that the only time that we talk are the 2 to 4 hours that we're here, that we're allowed to talk. A lot of people don't realize that. And once I told them that, there were some people like, well, that makes sense. some of them had, expanded upon that, there would be at least 2 people from specifically rural Geary County, and they liked that. Because I do feel that some rural residents feel that they don't get the proper, representation. So yeah, I really want to, talk more about it and do some more research. That's all I have.
That's all you have. Well, I know it was a light week with holidays, so I don't have a whole lot more to expand on, but I think at some point we need to have a discussion on moving forward, whether we're gonna continue these evening meetings on the third Monday, whether it's worth it or not, and not so.
I kind of like having the evening meeting, but, too, it's surprising, in some of the comments that you see on Facebook about, when we did the budget or whenever, that people didn't get an opportunity to attend the meeting. They should have an evening meeting, and, we did.
Yeah.
Nobody was here, so, I guess, which, I like the evening meetings, but, we can only do what we can do to try.
I guess my point is, I thought we'd get more
Well, that's
audience
Well, we've only been
participation.
doing it for 5 months. I wanted to give it at least a
Sure,
year,
yeah, I think so too.
So I think after, in January, we start again, at least until the summertime, and then reevaluate.
Because it's on the Geary County website too. She posts that on there as well, right? Yeah, so.
And maybe have, do we put it on every, on that Friday before our night meeting, to give people a chance.
So that would have been the third Wednesday would be the 15th. So are we going to have one on the 22nd then? Or
No, we
No,
said
the
for the
holidays.
holidays, we're not doing
just thinking,
anything,
okay.
especially on the
And
So
I
22nd.
we
was at
didn't-
that
see,
meeting.
we
I
didn't
just
have one
missed it.
in November, and we didn't have one in December because the joint meeting
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the
And nobody
holidays.
said a thing, I haven't seen anything about it blasting us or anything. And I mean, the agenda goes out on Thursday at noon, and on the night meeting, I always put a blurb, please note,
Right,
this
yeah.
meeting will start at 6 PM. So
mhm.
they should have enough notice.
And we need to be careful on gauging the entire public's reaction on Facebook, because most of the time when there's a lot of reaction, it's negative and it's never positive. And there's people that will reach out and say, I'm not gonna get on Facebook, but I agree with this,
Betsy, do you have anything?
I think so. I think so.
Mine was short and sweet. Anything else we want to discuss in the next couple minutes?
Well, one of the things I'm gonna bring up in the department head meeting is I would like for anybody who has something they want to talk to the legislators about, to write it down and then us put together like a sheet to give to them, so they have like our talking points. Just so they can refresh their memory, and, because, they're not gonna remember everything we talk about unless they actually take notes, but, so I'd like that,
Yeah.
then we put together, and then we can put together just a sheet to give them. And then maybe have an agenda on what we wanna talk about
For us.
for us, yes. So we can talk about that at the different meeting.
Crystal?
Short and sweet this morning. Morning Commission, Crystal Melchett, HR Director. Betsy, I have your official card.
Oh, thank you.
See, I'm all in December now, so I've got my new lanyard and everything. Although I don't feel like it should even be past February yet. All I've got is a reminder for the commission that I need your information for the department heads so that I can schedule their evaluations in here, because I can't do that till I get your information.
I'm half done. I sent it to you before already.
I got quite a few from Trish, but I do need your feedback on the department heads so that I can get their evals put together and get those scheduled for future commission dates. So
I apologize, Crystal. Yeah.
this is a busy time of year. I fully understand. So that's why I had it on my calendar as a reminder, because I know that it's not something that you go home and just think about all day until it's done.
I
So
appreciate the reminder.
not a problem. Just a reminder that the task force has been postponed a week. It'll be on the 17th because we'll be at KAC, most of us. And I did hear back from the KAC people that they're still looking for volunteers to help assist with things, and looking for people to attend their pre-conference, and that's for the admin support staff. So I'm working with them to send an email to our department heads to see if they have any support staff that they would like to send out on Monday. So
Crystal, on that, it's my turn on to be there at the task force, and we've got a juvenile board meeting, so I have to look up and see if I thought they had changed the time for this meeting, but I need to make
Yeah,
sure.
usually they do lunch in December.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Or no, they do breakfast. I don't know.
It's usually
It's gonna be at
I know it's food.
9 or 9:30, and the meeting starts at 10.
10, yeah, it's gonna be at 10 at Stacy's, and that's what time our meeting is, so.
well, the task force meeting here is at 8.
Okay.
Oh, I get up early.
Nice try.
We are having a voluntary gift exchange. Keith was nice enough to participate last year. It's all blind. You bring in a gift. We're saying between $10 and $30. And then if you bring a gift, you get to take a gift. But it's all voluntary. Nobody's required to bring one, and it's just open for everybody. Although Keith was really sweet last year because he brought a gift or two. I can't remember which. And didn't take any. So we were able to have somebody that didn't even bring a gift get a gift. So it's just a nice way of saying thank you to the task force and allowing them to show appreciation too. So
Okay, I didn't know that, so I'm glad to know that.
I did ask for task force members to let me know if they were going to be on the task force again next year, or if they were going to request a replacement, and also ideas for next year, and then their key highlights. I know some department heads have said that they want to do their own. Sheriff's Office is going to do their key things for 2025. I know Tammy wants to do ours for 2025, but I have heard from others, so they'll probably do a summary, and I may provide a more lengthy one to just go over, because I just think that we've done so many wonderful things this year that it would be nice to get it all at one time to get that information shared. So mostly just really pleased with what we've done for the youth in the community this year, and the dedication and the focus that our employees have shown towards supporting them. I just think is amazing, and I think it should be recognized.
Would it be appropriate to share that with the media?
Absolutely. Once I get everything all summarized. Be happy to make sure they get a copy of that. And if we could ever find anybody that had enough time to do like a monthly newsletter, we would love to put something in there. It's just finding the staff member that's got the time and knowledge to put that together. So, and that's all I have. Next Monday, I'm still undecided as to whether I will stay here and head to Wichita after the commission meeting, or if I will just have Tiffany report and then I go up Sunday night, and that's done up with my sister, so I can be there Monday morning to help with the pre-con.
Might as well go.
That's what I think.
I was gonna say.
You're gonna be busy.
So I'll probably go up Sunday night so I can be there first thing Monday to help with the pre-conference.
I think
So, and it is going gangbusters. The lady that's helping to arrange that, and she went door to door in her county, and almost every business donated stuff for the baskets that we'll be using as fundraisers, and just amazing.
Did you get stuff from here?
Nothing yet. I've sent out letters to most of the things, but unlike her, I don't have the time to go business to business, but but if anybody wants to donate something, we're still taking things all the way up till Friday for baskets and things for the, just again, raise money. It's the anniversary 50th anniversary for KAC. So
I'm sure the CBB's got some things we can throw in a basket.
that's a good idea. I'll reach out to Raquel. So, all right, that's all I
Maybe
have.
emergency management, they usually have some swag too.
I will do that too. Any questions? All right, well, everybody have a good week, and I wouldn't complain if it's done snowing for the rest of the day.
What I would like to do, after we get all of the evaluations, before we sit down with that person, because sometimes I don't see what they write.
Give you,
So
send
maybe-
you the summary.
Yes.
Yes. I'll send the summaries out before, the week before
Yes.
you meet with that person. I can't spell.
And if there's something we need to have before we meet with that employee, then we can have a chance to have a quick exec session.
Got it. All right, that's all I have.
No out office.
Nothing this time.
Okay.
I think we've done them all, or, I know in our office, because of the time of year, we've, told everybody, a day here, a day there's fine, but we're not letting anybody take any extended time off between now and the end of January, pretty much. Get the W-2s out, and the 1099 stuff and all that. This is our busiest time of year. We've got all the changes to make for pay increases, benefit changes, a lot to do, and then verify, re-verify. Although we'll remind all employees that they have a part to play in it too. If you've had an address change, please let us know before we send out W-2s. If you want to change your tax withholdings, and also when you get your last check of the year and your first check next year, double check, make sure that all the changes were made correctly. We're human, we'll do the best we can, but we do have 200 plus employees that we're making multiple changes on. So.
And I think Kathy had brought it up about possibly getting each specific benefit and how much it costs for each
The
employee.
benefits, yeah.
CIC was looking in to see if they can do that.
Don't know if CIC can. I know that Employee Navigator can, but it doesn't take capers into consideration. So we could do through Employee Navigator, and any employee can go out and check their own because it has what the employer pays. Again, the only thing it doesn't put in is capers or KPNF. But if Employee Navigator already has what they make plus all the benefits, employee cost and employer cost.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
So no, they probably wouldn't, but there may be a way that I can get a spreadsheet from it and then do mail merge into individual employees and try to do something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because I don't think people realize.
Yep.
Including us.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think a lot of employees only look at, I make this much per hour or whatever, and they don't stop to think about everything else that the county pays, whether it's for FICA,
Yeah.
Unemployment, work comp, capers, how
Well,
much we pay for the health
it's
insurance.
a good hiring tool as well
Exactly.
to see the benefits that you get.
And one thing that none of those documents take into consideration is the time off as well. Because, somebody might say, okay, great, I'm gonna go over here, they pay more, and they're like, what do you mean I don't get Columbus Day off? What do you mean I don't get Martin Luther King Jr. Day off? What do you mean I don't get Black Friday off? And they don't realize that.
And if you do work, you get time and a half.
Mhm. Yep, which is why I was selfishly glad that it didn't snow last Thursday or Friday, that it waited till this week, because the holiday,
Yeah.
there's a clean cut between the end
And
of the week.
normally that's what happens on a holiday. And then, yeah.
And we're gonna review, or I asked the question of you a long time ago, and I'm just making sure that, when we get into the snow season, there was some question about, the public works.
That was included in the new policy
And it's
manual.
all,
It's in the new policy
Yeah.
manual that if they have to work when the rest of us get admin leave and we're closed, they will get an equivalent amount of admin leave that their department head will determine if they use it all at once. Like if he just says, hey, we're totally empty this Friday, we're all gonna use our admin leave this Friday. Or if he wants to say, okay, you can use yours this week, you can use yours this week, but they will get an equivalent amount of admin leave that the rest of us got because they worked when we were closed.
that was in my, one of the things I was gonna bring up, just because, I hadn't been around since, and I wasn't sure exactly what the protocol was with the, when we have a snow event,
Right.
what the process is, so that was my question.
Yeah, there was
For the
some-
department head meeting is, to review
Yeah.
the protocol, and you might mention that to.
Happy to do so. And we, Tiffany and I go to Public Works once a month and do training days and stuff. And one of the things, after the policy manual was approved, we did let them know that. And we got lots of thank you. And I said, we wrote the policy, the commission approved it.
You go there once a month?
So, yeah,
Wow, that's nice.
if we do a training, normally it's the last Friday of the month, but since the last Friday was a holiday, we went the Friday before.
When that Geary. asked you to do
Yes,
that?
Jeremy asked us if we were willing to do that, so we
Great
do,
idea.
and we've done things from financial health to here's our EAP. We've done the difference between mandatory and voluntary benefits so that they understand FMLA, ADA. We've talked about driving, safe driving beyond the defensive driving classes, but the percentages of people that are on their phones and don't be a statistic. This last time, we just went to them and said, we'd like you guys to get together and let us know what you want us to come and talk about, so we're not just talking at you, but responsive to what it is that you're looking for from us. We don't want people thinking of us as, it's HR. Although it does help, I bring them donuts every time, so.
Yeah.
So have you tried doing that with the sheriff's department?
We've done some trainings there, but we've got a wonderful relationship with them now, but I think they're still a little hesitant to us bringing some training over. Because there was one I really wanted to bring, but they keep saying they don't need it, so we'll see. So, but when they ask for it, we're very responsive to that, and we'll go over and talk about it, so.
And the reason I ask that is community corrections over there, I mean, there's turnover more so than there is on the patrol side.
Yes. And Justin Under Sheriff Stopper did ask me to provide them with the numbers for turnover and the change from years past to this year. So I'm working on getting that for him. And while there was still, quite a bit of turnover this year, it's nothing compared to what we've seen in the past. Nothing.
Heck yeah, you could even lower your drug testing budget because
Yes. I mean, we've, in the past, I would have been surprised if we'd gone 2 weeks without a resignation. And there were still some, I'll say bad apples maybe, that have left this year, whether voluntarily or not. And then a lot of the separations this year, I think, came from those that were moving, or maybe that left corrections because they were going into law enforcement in other areas. So not near as many as because of management.
have we looked on the updated jobs on our website? Because I think there's one on there that I thought we weren't filling.
Okay, I'll double check.
So Crystal, did you remind me, did you have a standard form that we have for these evaluations? Or we
Yes.
just Okay.
Yeah, I send it out to you guys. I'd send it again. You don't have to fill that out. I'll fill it out. I did it just so that you knew what areas that I'll be, yeah, I sent it, I believe I sent it to the three of
You
you.
sent it out.
Okay.
It's kind of a template that
Yeah,
you don't have. to-
And basically what I do, I don't know how Keith does it, but I'll just write strengths, weaknesses, things I'd like to see, and then maybe some suggestions.
and then I just take that and put it in the form where, so she said if this is a strength, then if it's about their customer service, for example, I'll find the customer service area and put her quote in there. And then summarize it at the end. So, and I'm also happy to work with you one-on-one if you want to see how things have been done in the past or what we need to work on.
Okay. Yeah, I might stop in.
I'm planning on being in all week this week, except maybe Wednesday morning. My granddaughter had her tonsils out the week before Thanksgiving, and her follow-up is this Wednesday. And
Come on.
with mommy, daddy, papa, everything, I'm the only one that's available Wednesday morning, so.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best one,
Yeah.
Her tonsils out right before Thanksgiving.
Yep,
Oh,
the
man.
Thursday before, so she was doing okay by
Oh.
Thanksgiving, it was the Thursday before.
That's what the kids are getting
Ice cream
braces.
for
and
Thanksgiving
that's
is
what
good.
Yeah,
Mandy was saying she wants Jason to go, and the kids are like, no, we want you to go with us, not Daddy.
yeah, I can understand that, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an ongoing joke with my son about that too, because I said, I'm a grandma, I'm supposed to spoil her. And he says, not when she lives with you. I didn't see that in the fine print, sorry. Okay, well, that's all I have then.
Will you check with the girls in there if they're watching the thing? Because it went from 8 people watching till 3, and I don't know if something happened and they got kicked off.
Okay, because I was watching too, so that shouldn't have kicked me off, but we'll find out. We'll definitely look and find out. All right, thank you.
Did you catch that, Keith? I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I just, probably just for my sake as well, when it comes time, that we have a snow event, then, what the protocol is, and just talk about with department heads and who does what, when.
Well, yeah, usually it's the department head's call, but it's more, all right, so the chair usually meets with the sheriff, emergency management, public works, and then I've always involved Crystal as well.
Because they're all together at emergency management then?
Yeah, I mean, because they're driving the roads.
Okay,
and
so,
they let you
yeah, I
know
didn't, yeah.
whether you need to be safe or
So
whatever.
yeah,
Then
do you call us to let us know?
Crystal usually sent out text to everybody to
Okay,
let the other department heads know also.
But as far as the policy, that's pretty much set in stone.
Okay.
So it's up to the part. You're basically talking about public works and SO. That's it.
Mhm.
Because they're essential.
well, I mean, just with closing the office building down, you know, and the
Oh.
notification when people know, or, do it at 6 o'clock in the morning, so they give them ample
Right,
time for those driving in, so everybody's on the same page. I know sometimes that's kind of whatever, but I think it's a good time to,
Well, that's
Go-
where Everbridge has really helped a lot.
Yeah.
Because they get a hold of, they decide, and they
Yeah.
get it out early. And I know the department heads
I usually,
use that.
my policy, personal policy is trying to get all the thinking heads together and try and make that decision by 5 o'clock the day before a potential storm.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because, yeah, you know,
Well, just for planning people, when people have kids and stuff, they have to make
Exactly.
arrangements, so I just think it's a good time to go over to make everybody knows that
and
what the
sometimes,
process is.
sometimes you have to take into account the school district,
Sure.
because they kind of set the precedent, them and Fort Riley. So you kind of go by that, but Gary keeps pretty good tabs on that. And there's been times I've come into the office, to Gary's office, and sit there and watch the National Weather Service predictions, and I've always thought, being a superintendent of schools, it's a no-win situation.
I know.
yeah.
Because you're danged if you do, danged if you
Yeah.
They
And,
gripe when you close it, and they gripe
And
when you
nothing
don't close
happens.
it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember that one time when I let people go home early and you sent me a thing, you were like, I'm so glad you did that. I thought it was silly you were letting everybody go home early, but you never know. I mean, I could have
know.
done it and then
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
But you
sometimes
gotta think-
people drag their feet and then, and then that puts people out on the roads and everything else where I think.
Well,
it's
there
just
was one
lots-
time we didn't close, and it didn't look really bad, but we didn't close till 3, and it took me 2.5 hours to get home,
Right.
and it was awful.
Well, I mean, there's times that we've sat here and it's dark, where you just watch the snow pile up and everybody's not even making a call, so I wasn't sure what the protocol was being the,
Yeah.
first time around for this part. So I just wanted to make sure, I just thought it was a good time for us to go over when all the
Sure,
department head what the
sure.
process is, or they probably know it, but for my benefit too.
but I always take into account, one, the employees, and two, the public, And basically, the public, you're talking about the treasurer's office, basically.
Well, and depending on how much snow we get, but since we don't have anybody to clean the walks
Big,
besides Public Works,
Yeah.
they have to do the roads before they get here, so sometimes it's because of that.
So while we got a little time, anything pressing on your minds that we would like to talk to the legislators about? I think the unfunded mandates is number one.
Yes. Oh, and one, I would like to know, okay, so especially I think probably the largest, and Kathy, you could probably answer that, the largest gap for the unfunded mandate would be the motor vehicle and how much it actually cost us versus how much we get. I'd like to have those numbers, get that get with Sherry and see if there's, I don't know if you've had that in the past, but Kathy, if you kept track of that, how much it actually cost us versus how much we get reimbursed.
We've talked about that some, and, we just until really a few years ago is when we started with when the system, we got the new system is where we started getting bogged down because, the state first said they were gonna pay for the equipment and blah, 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 and we kind of knew that wasn't gonna happen. Of course, they backed off with that, and then, buying the paper, and if people say, well, we don't have to, the higher, state,
Mhm.
whoever don't have to worry about paper, we're a paperless generation. Well, they're not, because we've got it all sitting down in our basement, because we still are print, the paper cost was astronomical, and that was what was doing a lot of it. I did pull the legislative, they just had that legislative audit, with the,
Yeah,
to include, they had the court services on there too, but they talked about, the systems and running and, and I think it all did come down to, the cost that it takes to run the motor vehicle. On top of that, with the new movers, not being reliable, and that just, hampers a lot of it too. But I think they said in the long run, trying to fix whatever, it costs the state like $19 million. And, of course, that's not gonna, not gonna happen anytime soon. So, pushing some of those things aside or doing stuff differently, would have to be something that would, both the state and the treasurers, and I think that they've sat down and talked about some of those things in the past. But, the fact of the matter is, a lot of them aren't getting fixed. But, again, when you're getting, $5 service fee for like a titling, the treasurers keep 75 cents, or, if it's, $3, they keep it 25. That's just not, that's not fair. And it's, and it's been that way for years.
Mhm.
And it's especially, the argument was, especially with the new mover system, that, you may have thought that was okay then, but since the responsibility and everything is shifted over to the treasurers, so should the money,
yeah. And I
So,
think if you had
That's
I think that might be easier for them to understand if we gave them numbers.
Right.
And, well, they've got numbers from, when they did Livette County, Gove County, and Johnson County were the ones that they audited. They had a lot of feedback from all of the treasurers, but there's such a disparity amongst, when you get 105 counties and, the size, which, Gove's the smallest county and Johnson obviously largest. My thought process, why didn't they take somebody in the 30,000s,
Like us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to use those numbers, or take into consideration the impact with Riley County, Leavenworth County, Geary County, where those costs are hard to gauge in a sense because of the fluctuation of our military installation. But,
And that's might be one of the reasons why they didn't,
well,
because there's only 3 of us that.
yeah, it just is, they don't want the services to, people, and that's like Riley County when they, the treasurer there took over some of that, registering vehicles there in the courthouse, driver's license, and the boy, then the shift, and she got so inundated there that and the commission, when they were redoing their budget, looking areas to cut, the cost that it was cost her to do that service was just getting to be astronomical because of the number that she was serving. So, they had to cut that back and go back the other direction. But, a lot of those things, again, is they need to take in consideration. And Johnson County always does a good job. I know Tom Franzing was on that committee, and he's been pretty vocal about all that because, and my nephew actually lives in Johnson County, but the time frame, even like when he says he's to make an appointment, is like 3 or 4 weeks out, and then you've got, 2 hours waiting time. But, Johnson County, on the other hand, they did give counties opportunity to charge a user fee. And, there was a lot of, we understood I wouldn't have done it because Johnson County was charging, if you came in to register your car, you were being charged to come in, because they don't want people to come into the office, they felt like they could, and we're like, we can't in the smaller mid-range to wherever, my people, I wanna work with my people, I want them to come in here, and they wanna sit across the table from my clerks and talk to them if they have a problem, and I don't think they should be charged to come in. And so, but that's an individual one, and I think, some counties have charged a user fee, which it would,
How can they do that? I mean, I figured it would be uniform all across the state.
well, that's why, no, they gave us the opportunity to charge that
Oh.
user fee. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how many counties do, there's not a lot, but some have, just because,
And the counties get to keep it all?
yes, yeah. And like I said, Johnson County does, I don't know if Crawford County has yet, but some of them are just getting to where, when, again, the system didn't make it necessarily easier. It's really bogs things down a lot, and especially when they don't work right, so. That would be the biggest thing is, why don't you give the state more money so that they could get something that's, works right. And the sad thing about that, I sat on that committee and worked up there for 3 years, there was 10 or 12 of us that were up there a good number of days. And, you talk about the lack of communication and sitting there and, we'd test the system out and it was, we'd say it's not working, still not working. I remember driving to work to Topeka that day and then hearing, or I think one of the treasurers was calling, did you hear that they went ahead and passed, the system's gonna go live? They didn't ever communicate, all of us that have been there all that time. And that's how we found out, after we had said it's still not working, but that's just, again, Department of Revenue. And that was a time that I said, if my ambition to move up to the state level, that diminished my dreams of doing that, because I thought, wow, if that's what's happening at the state level, it's a sad day.
I think the simpler we make it for them, the easier, they'll be able to advocate. Because I sent them all that article.
The reflector article.
And, I think that, and we talked about this at our Flint Hills Regional Council meeting. We had, I forgot to report that we had a retreat the week before Thanksgiving. But, even if the state didn't mandate elections, we would probably have elections. But would we use the same software? Would we put people in jail? Yes, we would put people in jail that committed crimes. It's just some of the extra stuff that they require, I think, is what the cost is to the counties. Because, as a county, we would be holding elections, we would be enforcing the law and putting people in jail. It's just the extra stuff that they require that costs us. I mean, perfect example is, now that we have to report, make a special report and upload it for the tax incentives, which I don't have a problem with, but that's another cost that we're gonna have to do. I think it is a good process to be transparent, but for them, it's gonna take a lot of time for all the entities, cities and counties to do. Just my opinion.
Well, I was reading over this, but, it says, in auditing those 3 counties, it says that overall the counties used a combination of their own tax revenues and user fees and fines to cover most of the costs of providing those services. The counties we received little to no state or federal funding to help cover these costs. We estimate the state would need to contribute $19.1 million to fully offset those 3 counties. So,
Just 3?
yes, just the 3 counties, yes.
Oh, I thought that was statewide.
I wish they would have broke it out to each county though.
Yeah.
Because that would have been interesting, because I'm sure most of that's Johnson.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
But, and then I think there's some fear as to, with some of that, how much, funding or whatever in any of those agencies when we receive that funding, and then they have the ability to put some strings on it. And that's,
Oh.
so the more money you get, then, so how do you balance that? But it's, motor vehicle in 2012 did me in, because that was, we had a lot of people lined up, and then 2020, with COVID and stuff, it was awful. But, yes, I think they still need to work on that, and you talked about with the, car dealers titling vehicles and stuff, and, I would say, I hope that everybody, I know that that's, treasurers get up in arms with, and anybody infringes on their turf as anybody would, but I think it's just a matter of when you sit around the table together, it's like our positions here, you need to sit around the table and see what's the best for everybody, and, because I was thinking about that with the fees and property taxes, how, why can't you have it there and then send it over and, the collections here and still distribute it as it is, but, what would the cost, who would get what, and that's things that, everybody.
Well, I'm sure the dealers would do it only if they're gonna have profit.
Sure, yeah, and, even the title services, they've got title services in Topeka, and they charge quite a fee, $20 or $30, and here you talk about raising fees $1 or $2, well, people weren't, they were paying the $20 or $30 to be able to get their car processed,
Right.
so, and that was quite, something for those title services, because, there was a lot of treasurers upset because the dealers were taking bunches of titles to them to have processed, but, that was business for them, and how, so it's another one of those things that you just have to sit around the table and talk about it, and what's the best for, everybody in the outcome to get, to provide services, but, get some benefit from
Sure.
it as well. Because that would change the whole makeup of, like, the treasurer's office, if they were just collecting property taxes, so.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, another topic I thought of was, and I don't know how to approach it, because I've talked to our 3 local representatives, and they agree, the state bragged that they were reducing property tax when they really didn't. And it's still the burden of the entities. So it's kind of a false narrative for them to sit
It is
there.
very false narrative, especially when they run and say, I'm gonna lower your property tax when they don't have the authority, but
Well,
yet they still continue to make us pay all these things.
yeah, so, I mean, if they would truly lower the property taxes on the state side, that would help.
There is no property tax on the state side anymore.
Well,
They took that 1.5 out.
Yeah, they did take that out, but they just.
I mean, they have
haven't-
no say-so over a property tax. I mean, they're trying to get that by limiting the appraisal valuations.
Right,
But that's not gonna stop people
but
from,
it's not a true reduction. of
no,
property tax.
it's not.
And then the only other one I had was, I think they still need to continue the state needs to pay for the R&R notices.
Did you, you probably didn't get that, did you, from Sean, or, just, did you, I could take a copy if you want.
Is that, like he makes that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me see.
no, I don't think so.
Who is it?
Sean's a representative, I can copy that, I just got it.
Does he send it out, electronically too?
No, I received that in mail just the other day, but I could make copies if you want to. I always like looking over them, then, Mark, find the ones that.
I don't think you need to. I think that's something we could ask that we all 3 get.
Yeah, I'd like to get it electronically.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to see it
Yeah,
before we
I
met
do.
with whoever, just
Yeah.
because, like I said, sometimes that, there's because he's got that right where your thumb is about reducing what they did to reduce taxes, but again, I think a lot of times the state will say the same thing, that, then it's the federal government that's hurting them.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
so-
there's always point to blame that.
Yeah,
everybody else.
so how do you?
Oh, and I'm not saying that counties can't lower, do their own thing, but the state can't. There's legislators saying that they're gonna lower property tax and think, honestly,
Yeah, I
I
got
authority
it.
over that.
I didn't think I
I
had. I believe everybody has their own.
I believe that county
Because
government.
everybody was supposed to sign up for their own.
Well, that wasn't Sam's, that was the, UI,
Yeah, yeah.
unique identifier number. We still gotta do the Sam's.
Oh,
Because, those
Yeah.
grants, my grants are tied to the Sam's.
yeah.
So we can talk about that on Thursday.
I got a notice, so I'll,
Okay, I get no today
I
from
think
a
I.
different company.
Geary, how are you doing?
Enjoying the weather.
Yeah. We were just talking
Are you
about,
bluffing?
we were talking, Kathy asked some questions about, how to determine, well, one, admin, leave and policies, but, as chairperson, you need to make sure that, the burden's on you. And I said, well, usually you and I talk, and then Sheriff and Jeremy,
And Jeremy,
and so. I know there's been times I've been to your office and watched the National Weather Service meetings and not just for snow, but other events.
yeah,
too.
right.
I was just asking, that I thought at the department head meeting, it might be a good idea for my benefit, primarily because this is I don't know what's happening at this time, but I thought it was a good idea since we've got department heads here to go over the process, and how that's determined and notification.
And we wanna make sure everybody's on the Everbridge employee side too, so
So, yeah,
So
to reiterate
yeah,
that to the department heads
yep.
today.
I
I
can do
wonder if
that.
they talk about that in the new employee orientation, do you know? That'd be a good thing to bring
I
up.
think they do.
Okay.
Usually she gets them down there to sign up, but yeah, if somebody changes the phone number,
Sure.
some people like to change phone numbers or emails, that was the way of doing it, so.
Okay,
Okay, Gary Burgess, Geary County Emergency Management Director and Rural Fire Chief, Kurt Yonke, Assistant Director for Emergency Management, and also Assistant Fire Chief. Year-to-date for fire calls for 2025, we're at 115. Same period last year, 99, so we're 16 ahead of last year still. We've been running high this whole year. During the month of November, we ran 8 responses. 3 of them were vehicle fires. No structure fires, knock on wood so far, so. Last month on the 21st, Kansas Pipeline Association and Kansas Gas came and gave us a check for $2,500. That was a grant we wrote earlier to get those 4, the 4 gas monitors. We were able to purchase 5 of those, and they actually presented us a check there and did a photo op with us. So we'll get that up on the website. We haven't done that yet. So those are already in service on our first out truck. So we go to CO call. We've got at least 1 or 2 monitors there and stuff, and we can check gas level on structures and stuff. Also in November, we had the Scott rep come down, brought several different models of the SCBAs. We looked at them, had our guys, it was a training session, had the guys try them on, talk about what they like, don't like about them. We're gonna get our captains, lieutenants together here probably, I don't know if it'd be this month or next month, and put our specs together now, knowing what we want on our deals, and we'll get those on order. Granby Plaza Fire Chief was also there looking at them, and I think we're gonna stay with what the city's got as to how they hook up and stuff. So if we need to switch bottles out, we can, because there's thread, and then there's some that are a clip on there, snap-on type deal. We're used to the threads, but the cities went to the clip-on, the snap-on, a lot faster, more secure. You don't have to worry about getting them cross-threaded and that kind of stuff, especially if you got gloves on and stuff. So I think that's what we're ended up going with. Our guys really liked them good, so we'll get going on those. The the 2022 AFG grant. Just waiting on one payment. Once we get the payment, then I'll put in the final payment and that grant will be completely finished. That was for the extra hose that we bought after we got all the fire gear for our guys and stuff. So we're finishing up that, at least the government's back in service so that we can get this money back. I think we've still got like $19,000 reimbursement coming for us. Last Friday, we put 2 trucks in the parade. One was our new truck that we had. We showed it off, and then also our tanker. Our ladies auxiliary worked great and put a float together. They ended up taking the Founders Award for their deal, got $150 for creativity. So they were very happy about that. This is the 3rd year they put a float in, and this is the 1st year they've won, but they did a good job on that. So kudos to those people for especially braving the weather the way it was, because they rode the float and some of them walked next to the float during the parade. In November, went out and assisted on the K-18 groundbreaking. We opened up the building. Had it been bad weather, we would have had the groundbreaking inside and then moved outside for the dirt. And good comments from out there. I know 2 of you were out there at that and stuff, and met a lot of people and talked to about how the fire department works out in that area. Tomorrow afternoon and then all day Wednesday, I will be out of town at training down in Ottawa County as part of the incident management team. And they're covering my motel costs down there and stuff. So Kurt will be in charge the next 2 days while I'm gone. We've got LAPC, our local emergency planning committee meeting, our yearly meeting that we do is on the 11th on Thursday at 5 p.m. And Kathy, you're the rep from the county on that.
But I'm filling in for Kathy.
You're filling in, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then last month we told you about the exercise we were going to do in November because of the police department and sheriff's office command staff gone for their accreditation, and then also with my medical stuff going on, we held that off. We're doing that on the 18th. We've mixed it up a little bit. We're doing a tabletop in the morning. Then the afternoon, we're doing our functionals at both the Flint Hills campus and also out at Conza. Mixed it up a little bit. So we'll be doing 2 exercises that day. And then starting this week, Kurt will start doing the building inspections on all the buildings for the K-Camp insurance stuff that he does every year. The new trainees.
We've got 4 people for our department and 3 for Grandview that we're doing a basic fire academy. We're gonna concentrate just on wildland side of it for now, so that come February, March, when we start fire season, we've got 4 guys already trained, ready to go on the trucks. Brian Fields, the primary trainer on that, and Travis and Chris George are also doing part of the training. We had 2 nights last month. We've got 1 night this month, and then in January we'll have 4 weeks right in a row, and then we'll be done. We've just been bringing people on one at a time, and it's kind of a pain in the behind trying to train one and still bringing other people on board. So we thought we'd try this fire academy and see how it works.
So then are they accredited?
No, it just gives them the basics is what it does.
Just so when we have a fire, we can put them on a truck and they know what they're gonna do. They're still gonna have somebody watching them and be with somebody, but at least they got an idea.
Yeah, we won't throw them to the wolves.
No.
We've got 1 that'll be assigned Station 2 out in my area. And the other 3 will be, 2 of them will be at Station 3, and I think 1 of them will be at Station 1.
Yeah.
So, and
Just
we'll
depends on
just
where they live at. and
continue
stuff.
with their training through the rest of the year.
So, I think that's all we've got today, so.
Well, you got your bake sale or the auxiliary.
Oh, the auxiliary bake sale is Friday, this coming Friday from 10 till 6. People can come down, and I know there's bake sale items already being decided and being baked, and also some craft, excuse me, craft ideas down there. Some crafts are being sold too,
What time
that
does it
people can
start?
pick up.
10.
What?
10?
Starts at 10 till 6.
And don't forget the quilt too.
And then don't forget the 14th is
Is the
the,
appreciation supper.
I will be out of town. so-
You're gonna be out of town, okay. And we're mixing up a little bit different this year. We've got a different caterer coming in, and we're gonna have some fun time there this time like we usually do, so. So we're up, I think, about 85, 90 people so far. So, be about like last year, so. Okay. Anything else for us today?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
No, thanks for allowing the sheriff's department to have that.
No problem. I told them anytime they want to do that. In fact, we're talking about maybe doing something in the spring with some hot dogs or hamburgers down there and cooking them up and stuff. As long as there's food involved, we'll open our place up. You don't have a problem with that. So,
Okay.
Ford saying they gotta order parts. Parts will be in tomorrow.
okay. Department head meetings at
11:30.
11:30, okay.
Good job.
Thank you guys for coming.
It's a nice brew. Yeah, works good on this type of stuff. Yeah. it's not
Not that it works right.
Teresa is,
Sorry.
Did she?
No, not this time.
It's-
Maybe a little more snow to play with. I'll do it.
Connections, Chris, Chrisanna,
I think so,
How much I'm just gonna spend.
I have no idea.
yeah. I thought you did this thing. Yeah, that'd become hard.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Hi, Jeremy.
Like the snow this morning.
Really?
We're gonna do it, truck. She didn't like it when she squatted.
Oh, well, no, probably not.
I wouldn't either.
Do you just have one dog now?
Mhm.
Sky doesn't, yeah, she don't even, when I ask her if she wants to go outside or go bye-bye, she's like, heck no, man. She just jumps on the bed anymore. She's like, she don't even like to go bye-bye. Go down
Really?
Here, no, guys. She
Aw.
just- Yeah. People come over and I open the door, and, oh, she won't anywhere. Just step out.
She's a
and tell-
homebody.
She'll tell you hello, but she'll go right back inside. I've always had her, on the, trained her on those potty.
Yeah,
potty pads. It's just, she doesn't have,
Hers probably isn't too long.
yeah. We must got a lot more snow up north there in Riley County than we did to close school and stuff. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, I think what I seen on the radar, it kind of was around us and left us alone for quite
Yeah,
a while.
gosh.
so.
Yeah, the
And you
TV
weren't sad about that.
No, good morning.
It's better than what's in the box. What you did to it? I was walking down the stairs and I heard something pop
Today.
and it was No, this is Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it was. It's gotten better though. Just like limp whenever I've been sitting down. Tightened up, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was. Oh, so I ended up doing that or something like it. Nothing.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commission. Jeremy Myers, Public Works Administrator. Got Kaylin Ross with me, Administrative Services Manager today. First thing I have is the diesel laptops annual subscription. This has come by commission before. This is an annual subscription for diagnostic software for our laptop there in the shop. This just helps our shop keep repairs in-house, helps them diagnose the equipment, trouble codes, fault. There's also some hotline numbers and stuff that they're able to call, talk with mechanics, should they encounter something that just absolutely stumps them. So that's awfully useful for them as well. 2026 cost for that annual subscription on the silver package, which we have had in the past, is $3,545. It's an increase of $620 from 2024. Request commission's approval for that. That'll come out of the shop line.
A second.
Been moved and seconded for that recommendation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is an update from HMN Architect on the phase 2 for the detention facility. Sean Harding reached out to me and they have completed the 2 layout options for the county, and this will complete the current phase 2 work. First option is reusing a portion of the existing facility and adding new jail housing and administration to it. And then they also did one with a freestanding facility that was designed to fit the parking lot between the jail juvenile facility and the Junction City Police Station north of the county office building here. I have proposed for them to come and present to the commission on December 15th. Does this work for the commission, or is there another date that you would like to see them come in and do this?
Well, I know we're gonna be, that's the day we have our legislative
Okay.
thing, so it might be, so we don't have to rush.
No, that's
No,
on the
that's
8th.
the
Oh,
He
the
said the
legislative things, oh, it's next Monday, oh, okay, I
Next
thought we
Monday.
said it was the
I thought-
15th, yeah, I thought you said it was the 15th.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he's always said the 8th, and
Well, I
that's
asked
where I got
earlier
it
if
set
it
up.
was the 15th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we asked you earlier. Okay, well then, never mind then.
Okay.
Because I'll cross it back off.
How much time do you?
I would probably give them 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
That's what I asked.
And we can tag that onto the end of my meeting that day.
I was gonna
or-
say,
Okay, so that's a little something.
you're set at 11, but I could move you up.
Okay.
And then I could move Charles Martinez, so, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Work? So what time would that be, Teresa, for them?
For them,
We'll go 11 to 11:30?
11:15 to 11:45.
I will reach out to Sean, see if I can get that set, and go from there. Next thing we have is some snow coverage maps that Kaylin wanted to show you. I know we had talked about in the past getting something put on the website, and we've worked with Troy and GIS and got some things put together that look pretty good.
Okay, so just on our website, in the Public Works tab, we made a snow and ice section over here. This first one is kind of within the Geary County. There's lots of different entities of KDOT, us, Junction City, and Grandview Plaza and Milford all kind of encompass. So to help kind of hopefully make it easier for residents if they need it, Troy made this map for us. It's color coordinated by entity, and it has our phone numbers with it. And so if someone's on this map, trying to figure out who they need to call for their snow removal, the phone number, is there with it. So that way they can just have the right number to call. And I promise it works. I was on
Till
it
you
this
want it
morning.
to.
Until you want.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
It's still thinking.
It worked when you left the office.
It did, yeah, because we had it up this morning. Okay, let's try this again. And this is searchable, so you can go in, plug in your address, and it'll pull it right up. And then all you have to do is just click on the street outside of your residence or outside of the address you're looking up, and then click on the color, and then it'll pull up like responsible party and who is
Oh, that's excellent.
then, yes, responsible for your snow removal. But,
That's so nice, Kaylin.
yeah, thanks.
I like
That's
that.
great.
But credit goes
The way
to
it
work.
works.
He made it, yes.
I think that's why the printer, for whatever reason.
Yeah, modern technology.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When it works.
Seems like sometimes laptops just don't work as efficiently as our PCs do either, but
Let me see if I can keep this thinking. If we go back to our website. I'll see if the other one wants to work.
It comes up on my laptop, it's over here.
Stop
We were hogging
thinking.
up her laptop space.
Yeah, it's just on the website, so anyone should be able, here we go, to find it. So here's the overview. All the colors pop. There we go. So down there on your little legend, it has who it is with the color and then the phone number to call. And then up here you can search. So we'll just do the Public Works address. You can click zoom in so you guys can share this with anyone that ever questions who does what. And then we can double click on the blue here.
This is awesome.
And then responsible party is Junction City. So if I need to call about something, I'd have their number right there and the right person I need to call. So KDOT is on here. They are red. There we go. Under that state road is KDOT's area. We just need to add their phone number. There still might be some areas we need to update on here, but at least a good overview starting out for this
Clear.
winter season.
It is.
yeah.
So I just want to explain, so if people are listening, since they can't see, if they go to our Geary County, Kansas, website,
Mhm.
and then go to Public Works, and then go to, Snow and Ice.
Yep.
And then they'll be able to have that.
Yep.
Snow and Ice tab on the left, and then that was the first map that's listed is kind of who's responsible for snow removal. And then the second one goes with our Samsara technology that we have. Again, we're still working out some kinks here, but if it'll pull up correctly, this is quote the live feed. So there is a delay on these trucks, but this will show you the trucks that we do have out working during snow removal time. There's 8 trucks. Right now, they're just numbered, but we might name them kind of like we've talked about in the past, and then we'll get that updated. But this will give you kind of the live view on where our trucks are at. So ideally, people can get in here to see kind of what area we're in, so they know whether or not we're in their area during snow removal, or maybe we've already been there. We believe we can have it highlighted the roads that have already been plowed. So we're working with Samsara on that. So that way, if I want to get on here and look at my area, I could see it's already been done. So maybe I know they'll come back after they're in other areas. But at least for now, we can see who we kind of have out on the roads for snow removal services. The green arrow is they are moving. And then if it's a green circle, it means our truck is on. They are just stopped at that moment. And then if it's a black circle, the truck is off. So,
That is awesome.
yeah.
Can we do maybe a press release on that?
Yes, we had,
Explaining- okay,
yep. We
thank
had
you.
talked about that and thought that would be a good way to get that information out.
I was gonna ask about the addresses, but now after I got it open a little bit further, I could see, well, yeah, I could see where all the addresses are listed on there
Yeah.
too, so I kind of like that to see
Yeah.
where I'm at, so. But yeah, wow, that is awesome.
That
This
is.
one, if it's gonna work, it's been a little slow on this side, but you can put the weather overlay on this map, so we can see all the blue there is snow,
Wow.
and that our trucks are in it. And then you should be able to kind of expand this out to kind of see full range of maybe whether that's leaving us or whether that's coming towards us, so. Check out some maps online, they might be updated. As I said, we're working through some little kinks and other things we want to try to get included, but hopefully helps during this winter season, with stuff we've learned from in the past. So we've got those on the website now.
So how often does it kind of update? If a truck is, in a certain spot now, how long until you see it again on a different area?
When they get there.
Or do you?
There's like around a 15-minute delay on here.
Yeah.
So I don't need,
I would say it updates about every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's a good, that is.
Where it doesn't
I saw-
actually point out the exact
That's pretty
location
quick.
of that vehicle.
Yeah, I
at that
think
time,
Yeah.
so
it's a
somebody
safety
can.
issue.
yeah, we don't need that, but
I mean, that should be in everything, yeah.
good overview of kind of where we have our trucks at.
I did see like in a couple of different areas, they had contests with the grade school kids to name.
Yeah.
And then also, I think it was Hutchinson, they actually had some kids come and paint
Claim them.
Thank
with
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would be something cool.
Yeah, I think there's all sorts of ideas you can
Yeah.
get into. with
I mean,
it.
just getting people involved and seeing what you guys do. I mean,
Right.
and I think that's very important to see where your tax money is going and what, how much you, especially Public Works does.
I think each winter season you can rename them. So then we've
Yeah,
talked about
yeah.
like getting with the schools or having
Mhm.
community like contests.
Yeah,
and
that would be awesome.
things like that. So I think to
And then have
kind
them vote on it.
of refresh it each year, yeah, you can do lots of different.
Yeah, just get the
ideas,
public
so.
involved in that. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. I remember talking to you about it a couple years ago, huh, Jeremy?
Mhm.
I got there.
I like the,
Yes.
the colors of it really just kind of points out how widespread we are as the
Yes.
county public works. Of, just exactly how much we cover and how far out we actually go. I mean, it takes a bit to cover everything.
So just for public knowledge, could you reiterate how many miles of gravel versus how many miles of?
So there's 117 miles of asphalt road and 236 of gravel roads that we cover. So
Geary County is.
that Geary
responsible.
County is responsible for. Yep.
Yeah, that's a great picture to show.
It kind of shows you
Uh-huh.
branch out all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll continue to work on that and get some little details worked out on that and just provide all the options we possibly can to educate the public on where we're at with that. And again, thank you to GIS and Troy, he was a great deal of help on this.
Bugged him enough, but I think we got everything we wanted out of it.
It takes a lot of back and forth to get all the roads, just exactly right and figure it out. Next is just a winter weather update. We had crews on standby from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday with that potential snowstorm coming in for that. I know they had scheduled it around 1 o'clock. Thankfully, we missed out on that one. And then again, 12/1 from 5 a.m. this morning till 8 p.m. I had crews on standby for that. Just not sure when that might hit. So see if we needed to get a jump on that. And currently we do have trucks out running routes and clearing slick spots and kind of monitoring everything these snowstorms like this are a bit challenging because you don't have that accumulation, and then you have cold, and figuring out when your best time to treat. You can keep snow moving across the road if you don't start treating too soon, because as soon as you start melting it, everything starts sticking. So we're just playing it by ear and by visual and keeping the roads safe for everybody. And with that, that's all I had. I did want to see about requesting an executive session to discuss preliminary acquisition of real property for 10 minutes if we had some time for that.
Absolutely.
So moved with, Public Works and, legal.
I'll second.
Now, how do you want to word that, Betsy?
You did it exactly right.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
He must have been schooled or something.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Must have had some assistance.
I consulted with county council.
Very good.
Yeah, so have a motion for 10-minute executive session. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carried.